And of course, I can't forget the two characters at the center of the storm, that being Darius and Brooklyn, and whether or not they would get together. Now, as I've said in previous videos, I was not in love with the idea of Darius and Brooklyn getting together. I thought the idea of romance between them was cliche, uninspired, and borderline character assassination. At this point in the story, their characters were not built for each other, and I was worried the writers would force them to get together because it's what the story demands or what the fans want. I knew it was only a matter of time before the writers caved in to the demands of the audience. So you can imagine my joy when that didn't happen, and I couldn't be more grateful. Darius and Brooklyn also get a mature conversation where he tells her that he seems to love differently than others and doesn't want with her what Sammy and Yaz or Ben and Gia have. Darius's arc was about him getting disillusioned by his ideal version of Brooklyn versus her real version, and then having to call her out on her actions because he does love and respect her, just knowing the way we were expecting. He was able to do some self-reflection and come to that conclusion on his own. And before I get some angry commenters in here telling me, well, what was the point of all that build-up then? Why would Darius keep Brooklyn so close to his heart if it wasn't romantic? Why did the writers waste our time? And again, he clearly loves differently. Darius has his own way of showing affection, and he's planning on working on it by the end of the series, so it does come out properly in the future. And no, the writers didn't waste our time. Having Darius be exposed to Sammy and Yaz and Bren and Gia's relationships helped shape him into knowing what he wants, even if it's not exactly what they're having. And this is not even mentioning how Brooklyn fits into all of this. As I mentioned earlier, Brooklyn is far from the most perfect person in the cast, and her major flaw is that she puts her job above all else. Excusing the fact that she's not fit for Darius on a basic level, there's just no way she can match his love for dinosaurs, her callousness and fake treatment to other people at the time does not make her fit for a relationship. Relationships are meant to be real, and Brooklyn has spent so much time acting that it will be difficult for her to show her real self when trying to be intimate. Again, look at what happens when she tries to go full mask off and accept every consequence at the same time. She very clearly needs to work on herself. All of this leads to them at the end of the series healing, rediscovering who they are and what they mean to each other. They both clearly love each other, but they are nowhere near ready for a proper relationship or something more. And I love that about this show. It shows how messy and complicated people can be, and sometimes not everything can be wrapped up with a nice little bow. These two may be ready to date later or never, but what matters now is that they have each other and will figure out the answer together. And I think that's a very solid ending for these characters.